What's up, you guys? Your boy Dwitch back again with another video. This is another day in my life of me building my business to $2 million for the year. In this video, we'll talk a little bit about creatives or organic, I guess. And then we are going to talk about performance a little bit. Talk about what else? Oh, rev check, and then yeah, I'll let y'all boys go. So let's get into it. So as you guys know, I've been talking about the last couple of days about this creative flywheel that I'm looking to create with the affiliates. So essentially there's two pieces to that. Obviously, I think mostly talked about the aspect of us just having a bunch of content coming in on a weekly, monthly, or whatever daily basis. That's like the one aspect, the one great thing about this flywheel, because we are only paying the cost of good to essentially receive high quality content. Now that's the one great portion about it. The second portion is that we are going to be working with micro influencers. So again, they're not looking to get paid that much for the most part. They're typically down for, basically like TikTok Shop, are down to get paid a percentage of sales, as well as happy with just receiving the product, because again, they're kind of starting their career for the most part, or they might just not know their worth for the they just simply put enough. So again, they're willing to be an affiliate with your brand. So that's kind of like the angle that we're going. There's two aspects to it. The one is to gather a lot of content really quickly at a relatively great price. The second aspect of it is to get affiliates that are able to pump out sales. Now the affiliate portion of it, I don't necessarily know how well that's gonna do. I've done it a bit in the past. It was kind of hit or miss, I'm not gonna lie, but the way I'm thinking about it is that if we have, let's say, 100 influencers that do a post, and if they only get one sale, we are profitable, because at the end of the day, we are only paying them cost of goods and then percentage on the sales. So even in doing that, the percentage is around like 30%. Again, I didn't have it set out the percentage yet, but whatever percentage it is, for the most part, will be way less than what you would have paid if you had to acquire a customer with Meta, which would have been 50% of your revenue you had to give to Meta, right? So even if we're giving them 40%, 45%, that's still better than what we're getting with Meta. And again, even if we get only one sale, it's a dub. So we don't necessarily have anything to lose. We only have to lose our cost of goods. So that's why it's a big win. And we're getting a bunch of content for a very great price. So that's kind of like the whole goal right there with the organic aspect with the affiliates. Again, get great content, plus get an opportunity to be able to get sales. So that's one portion that I want to talk about. The second portion is that, or third portion rather, is that it also helps with the blended efforts of the business. So we are going to be able to fuck around and spend whatever amount of money we want out of one ROAS if we're able to get scale with this affiliate system. If we're able to get consistent sales from affiliates on a daily, monthly, weekly, whatever basis, that's going to be huge for us, because then let's say we are always getting 5 to 10 sales or even more a day from these affiliates. We can have a shit day. Like I've been telling you guys, the last 2 days have been shit on Meta. We could fuck around and have the worst days of all time on Meta. Like literally, I'm talking about like 0.3, maybe not 0.3, maybe low-key 0.3, but we can have the shittest ROAS and we would still be highly profitable, because we have Google on top of that. We also have our email marketing flows on top of all that. So we would be highly profitable no matter what, as long as we had these systems coming in, or in play. So that's kind of where my mind's at. And I've thought about this in the past. I think I even talked about it onto the channel, but realistically, I didn't really take action on it, because to do some shit like that, it takes time. And when I used to do that shit, I was literally putting not put all my effort, but I was the one doing it. And I was like, okay, I've done this multiple times, I've talked about it. Why procrastinate it when I know it's an aspect of the business that I can do specifically well, especially for apparel or jewelry. If it's like a different type of niche, I wouldn't necessarily do this up front. But in the kind of niche that I'm in, like, social proof is huge. So if we can have a bunch of influencers just tagging us, we can repost them as well, like post together and shit, if you know what I'm talking about. Then again, that's huge for us, and that's a lever that we just need to push. And I just decided to hire a VA, found a great VA. I'm not gonna lie, she's hungry as hell for, to work. Like, she wants to make this shit work. So I'm like, bet. She, like, the first day I hired her, she called me like literally 2 hours later, like asking hella questions, you know, just moving this, like just wanting to move this shit forward. So I'm like, bet. So I'm gonna invest time in her. She was able to find some great creators yesterday, some great creators on the trial period, and she was even able to create like an amazing like KPI dashboard to kind of show us, you know, what influencers we reached out for the week, what influencers we didn't, like what's our hit rate looking like on, you know, percentage of ones that we are going to be able to, sorry, let me rephrase that. So basically, what percentage of people actually say yes, what percentage of people like just steal the product flat out. And like, again, I'm realizing more and more that, again, this also takes time and it also requires a budget, but I'm realizing that you can't do everything, well, I always knew this, but you can't do everything yourself, and getting this VA now should be a great lever that should help us to bring in so much fresh content, so much, you know, affiliates. Like, it's just gonna improve the business overall. And that's something that I kind of neglected again, that I just kept saying, oh, I'm gonna do it later, I'm gonna wait until I get to this point. But it's like, why not just build a system out now? Like, we're seeing a big change of income in e-com where people are on, you know, TikTok Shop and they're not paying any ad spend, you know? Why not get best of both worlds? I can't necessarily go to TikTok Shop with this style of product, one, and two, I am Canada, so like I have to do some like crazy, like, but anyways, it just doesn't make sense right now to be TikTok Shop. But if we have our own affiliate system utilizing these same frameworks of what's working with TikTok Shop while still giving us the opportunity to target people worldwide, it's a no-brainer. Now, obviously, the portion that's going to be kind of hard to kind of predict is, again, it's not that deep because we don't necessarily care that much about the sales, but how well these people can actually convert, and that's going to take time. That's going to take systems to build out to understand, to be like, hey, this is how shit converts, blah, 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 blah. But whatever, I'm down with it. And I really think if we're able to be successful with this kind of system I'm looking to plan out for the 3 facets that I kind of talked about in the beginning of this video, I think this is going to be a great direction to go with this brand, because that's what I'm basically seeing a lot of these fashion brands are doing. They obviously have their paid, you know, channels, their retargeting emails, whatever, but a lot of them have affiliate stuff going on, or they have very like great social media presence with like bigger influencers. So it's like, if I want to continue this brand with the jewelry shit, and I did it in the past, but I never did it all together. I started with organic. I did organic myself. I was like literally the face of the brand and shit. Like, it was cool. We were able to make good profit with it. Lower sales, but profit margins was good. I said, okay, let's go paid. Oh, no, I didn't go paid right away. I actually went the influencer route, but then I kind of dubbed the organic a bit. I was kind of doing both at the same time, but I kind of dubbed it. And then after that, I went fully paid. And when I went fully paid, I kind of neglected everything else that I did in the past. So I guess it's kind of a full circle moment. I don't necessarily have the time to be the one to find these creators no more, but that's when you delegate, and realistically, it doesn't cost me anything. Well, it costs money, obviously, but I'm not getting waxed paying a bunch of money, you know, to get the service done for me by the VA. So again, I'm just gonna put my money where my mouth is. If I don't have time to do it, let me just, you know, outsource the shit and see how the shit looks on a 3-month window, you know, and for a quarter. Let's see how it does. Does it do well? You know, are we able to get some sales in? Are we able to get some good content? And honestly, as long as we're able to get good content, I'm not even going to be mad at it, because again, that's a great source of content to be coming in on a weekly basis. But I do also want to get the sales portion of it so we can help improve our blended efforts. You know, that'd be amazing if, you know, on a daily basis we can get 20 sales. Just strictly we know 20 sales are going to come in every single day, or whatever amount of sales are going to come in every day, and we're not going to have to worry about you know, what happens if Meta has a shit day? What happens if Meta gets banned? You know, Meta could get banned and we can still fuck around and have a 1K, 2K day, because we have great systems in play with the affiliate shit. Like, that's really something that I'm really thinking about specifically for this brand. Again, that's something that is very more like for fashion brands and stuff like that. This is something that can be applied to every type of brand, but for the most part, really, when it comes to like the fashion industry, this is something that's very, very like important and honestly should just be implemented as soon as possible if you can, right? So that's where we're at currently. Um, Nothing too crazy. Um, yeah. In terms of performance, though, nothing too crazy to talk about. I kind of intertwine my thoughts about performance on my plans a bit with the affiliate stuff with kind of what performance is going on right now. Performance right now, honestly, the last 3 days have been very, very ass on the main store. But I'm realizing that was just like natural fluctuation because we were having such a great like period of time where we're just getting a bunch of great sales that like it's so what's the word? It's just the natural of meta ads, and especially that it was from Sunday to Monday to Tuesday. The shit became ass. That's typically one performance is very very ass, but at this time though, the performance I'm not gonna lie was even shitter than I actually expected. Like the performance was very 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 dookie, but nevertheless though I was able to stick through. Didn't turn anything off because there's no point in turning shit off. Because on a 3 day window, while it was ass on a 7 day window, most of them were still fairly profitable. Some of them were break even. Break even ones I left on for a little bit. The ones that were unprofitable, I decreased budgets. For the ones that were at the point where it doesn't even make sense to keep them active, which was only one of them, I turned them off. But for the most part, we just kept the budget. And today, performance is, let me open it up, a lot decent. We should like slap what we did yesterday. Um, But yeah, guys, like this fluctuation with this shit. Like, look at this shit. We went like damn near the whole day yesterday. Okay, not the whole day, but like low key the whole day actually. Like, look at the chart. Like, we barely got sales, and near the end of the day, like it kind of picked up, you know. And we were unprofitable that day. Yesterday was the day before that was similar as well. But today, it's earlier in the day. As you can see on the chart, we got sales going on for the day. So we hopefully can get back to these 1K, 1.5, and so to scale back up. But I haven't been really increasing share, obviously, because the performance is ass, and I haven't really launched anything new yet. Just because I want to kind of analyze where performance was heading, just so I didn't blow through a bunch of budget. But today is looking fairly decent. I'm gonna launch some new stuff, and probably try to test a SC campaign with all the winning creatives at a higher budget, probably with a cost cap though. I've been seeing like this is good cost cap that's been working alongside a bunch of campaigns I've tested. It's like around I think it's 25 or 20% margin. It's at like the target CPA. I don't remember. I have to go check, but yeah, I'm just gonna look to see if we can kind of test out and see how that looks. If we have a small inflated budget with all our winning something to that, or maybe even the CBO. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll see what makes sense. Just so we always have a consistent campaign that's spending high budgets. Because the thing is, when you have a bunch of testing campaigns at like $50 a day or $100 a day, if it's not spending a lot of money, it tends to have a lot more fluctuation. I've seen like around like under like 1K a day in ad spend on a campaign, give or take, maybe a bit less. It really depends, honestly, on the intent as well of the audience. But for the most part, around there, things are very, very volatile. Like you might have a great week, but then you have like, like right now that I'm having 3 to like 7 days of shit performance. So I knew that obviously in the past. Well, I knew this obviously because I'm telling you guys like I know this shit, but I didn't really implement that currently on this new way that I've been running these ads. So I'll probably likely launch a main campaign again with all these scaling creatives that we have and really just I don't know if I want to put it. I might not put in. I don't. I might low key. I might put in an inflated budget or run that one break even. And then all the testing campaigns typically do very very well on a 7 day window. Like well, not all of them, but like on a blended level, they'll do fairly decent. And on average, you could probably have like a 1.5, which is fairly decent. It's not like crazy profitable, but that's fairly decent on a return to ad spend level on Meta. And Google, I know, is going to give us a 3 ROAS. So in doing that, we can probably have like a 2 ROAS and spend a lot more money, assuming it's not a cost cap. So I'm going to play with it. I'm going to see what we can do. We do have a lot of like room to potentially scale. Because again, Like I just said, we have some good winning creatives. We just aren't spending that much money right now. So again, shit is going to be volatile. The Mother's Day offer that we're running is going to die out soon. Well, it is starting to die out because Mother's Day is like in a couple of days. But we do have another opportunity to scale. Fuck around. We didn't really do a hard push with Mother's Day because of the terror situation. But I think we might have an opportunity to do a Father's Day push and really scale that up. We had a year when we did a crazy Mother's Day push and we got some decent numbers. So that's kind of like the plan there. Again, we have our creative system slowly getting dialed. Now it's just about us scaling budgets and seeing how far we can take this shit, as profitably as possible. Like, that's also a very, very important goal. So I'm a bit rambling now. I'm about to probably end the video. But after I show you guys a rev check for the second store. Today it's not that the best. As you can see today, I checked the ad manager for this one. Today it didn't get any add to cards, so I think this is just a bad day for the store, which is whatever. Yeah, we're not spending that much on here. We're literally just testing. But as you can see, yesterday we did 74. We lost like $3 yesterday. Nothing too crazy. Day before we were profitable, like 80%, 18% margin. So it's like, as you can see, like if you're not spending a lot of money for the most part, it's not possible for you to be super consistent with it. Like obviously you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days. That's what it is. But on a 7-day window, once your shit isn't spending a lot of money and you get into that learning limited shit, which probably happens to a lot of you guys. For the most part, the campaign is usually cooked. That's what I've seen. Unless you increase budgets. Now, I'm not telling you to increase budgets because most of the time it doesn't make a difference. But I've seen cases where low-key you increase the budgets. And again, I'm not telling you to do this because it's not a high percentage of cases I've seen this. And it's usually when there's a big batch of creatives in there. That's when it does a lot better. But anyways, now I'm rambling on. I've been yapping. Appreciate you guys for watching this video. I really hope all of you guys that watch this shit are actually taking action. Like, if you're coming to my videos every single day and watching it, liking it, or whatever, you're just inspired, or whatever the fuck whatever emotion you feel for watching my videos, and you might feel like, damn, I can do it too. He's normal. He's just like me. Then, bro, just take action. There's no reason why you're watching my videos and then you just go back to, like, I don't know, fucking gooning. Like, I don't know what the fuck y'all be on, but there's no reason why you're doing that, watching my shit and not taking action. You might as well take action, get locked in, start a store. If it's not dropshipping, I don't really care. Like, just start something, bro. Change your life. And I'm not saying go balls deep into this e-com shit. Just try. Give it a try, bro. We're young. You can have your job on the side, do school on the side, and really work on your craft no matter what your craft is. Like, bro, I was still in school when I ran up 100 racks profit with just dropshipping shit, bro. I was still there. Like, it's going to be hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was stressed out of shit doing that shit, like school, this business, and I had like other family commitments and shit to, around. Like, it was kind of stressful. Not kind of, it was, but it is what it is. Like, that's what it is, bro. Like, most of y'all probably can't be in a position where you can say, fuck it, let me take the leap of faith. Like, definitely don't quit your job. You can't. A lot of y'all probably not be able to be like, I can't do the school shit. My parents might be tripping or whatever. You're scared. Don't leave right away. Like, the biggest thing that I see online that a lot of people say, they say go cold turkey. Is, dip school, dip this, to that. Like, realistically, we all know that the probability of you making it obviously is very, very low because there's the 1% for a reason. But that doesn't mean don't try. That just means just understand that there's a possibility that you're going to fail. And the thing is with that statistic as well is that a lot of people that fail, the reason why they failed is because they didn't do it for a long enough period of time, or they were doing this shit over and over again, doing the same thing over and over again, and they're wondering why they're not seeing success. Like, everybody knows the saying that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, and if you're not optimizing what you're kind of working on, you're just, again, doing the same thing over and over again, obviously you're going to fail. So don't see that statistic and say, damn, I'm going to fail. Just use that statistic as like motivation to understand, okay, I need to be a bit more cautious of what I'm doing. If I'm going to dip school, cool. Go balls deep in whatever work you're doing. So, like, if you have a job right now, make as much money, save as much money as you can. Obviously, have some money on the side for yourself. Then invest some of the portion of your money into the whatever business model you want. Don't invest all of it. Go little by little and see little progress over and over again. And once you make more money from your business than your job, then you can dictate and say, okay, let me leave this shit. Or if you make more money from your business than you would have made with the degree you're currently pursuing, and you can potentially in your brain say, okay, bet I can leave. Like, don't Like me personally, I'm not like I take risk obviously, but I'm not the type of guy where I'm gonna look at a situation and be like, damn, let me just leave balls deep with no plan in place. The whole goal of this shit, like if you are planning on taking a risk, have a plan. Like I'm not saying go have a plan B, blah blah, but I'm saying have a plan. Have, what you want to do laid down in your brain on a piece of paper, whatever, and understand the risks of what's really going on, bro. Understand the risks because there are risks with everything you're doing. That's the truth. There's big rewards, but there are risks as well. Like you could lose all your money. And again, you don't want to be in a position where you lose all your money, you quit your job, now you're fucking cooked. Now you're looking at me and saying, damn, do shit to quit my job. Do shit to leave school. I didn't. I didn't say that shit. Again, I'm telling you guys what it is. I'm telling you guys the truth. A lot of people will tell you, dip school, do this, balls deep, just get the fuck up out of there. For a lot of you, that isn't smart. A lot of you guys can't handle the stress of some shit like that. And I'm telling you guys, take it little by little. Believe in yourself, obviously, but again, know your body. Understand who the type of nigga you are. If you're not the type of nigga that can handle stress well, one, you're gonna have to honestly work on that, for one. For two, you're gonna have to understand, okay, you can't take crazy bigger risks. You can take risks, but make sure that these risks are shit that you can handle, for one, and for two, always make sure that you have, a safety net. And I'm not saying a backup plan, but always have money on the side to fall back on in case of a situation where you are absolutely cooked. Now I'm rambling. Just want to give y'all a piece of advice and shit. Yeah, appreciate you guys again for watching the video. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.